This is a lesson about science. In chapter 9, we've been talking about light and the sources of light and how light works. I want to show you this source of light. It's a flashlight. There we go. There we go. You see the light shining into the camera? Okay. There's other sources of light in this room right now. You can see light from the ceiling fan. You can see through the blinds that the sunlight is trying to come in through the window. Okay? Those are sources of light. I'm going to hold up my book and show you a picture of the beautiful light coming through that tree. Doesn't it look like the sun has risen and it's early morning and it's shining so bright through the tree? Look how it's illuminated the field. So pretty. Okay. We're going to think right now about how we can use light. The Bible tells us in Genesis 1 that God created light. He spoke and there was light. He divided the light and darkness so that we can have daytime and nighttime. In the daytime, we can see the sun. God created the sun to give light to the earth. Light is a form of energy. So I've made you a little sheet here that tells you light. Let's see, we just want to see the word light. What is light? Light is a form of energy. Now think about energy. Plants need energy in order to grow, so they receive that energy from the light from the sun. That's what makes them grow. Okay, we need energy so that we too can grow and live, and we get our energy from food. Okay, so light is a form of energy. People, animals, and plants need light to live and grow. Studying about light helps us use it well. So in this chapter, chapter 9, we're going to look for different ways people use light. Now I want you to see the scientist in the picture. He is focused on his shadow. We're also going to learn about shadows in this chapter. You see the light bulb? It's a form of energy so we can see. Remember, Thomas Edison is the one who developed the light bulb. Now I have some questions to ask you. What are some things that God created? Did you say water, animals, people, the sun, the sky? You are right. How did God create the light? What did God do? He spoke it. And what did God do with the light? And remember, He divided the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And what is energy? Energy is what is needed in order to create a change. All right. The next thing we want to look at is the sources of light. Do you see? A lot is going on in this picture, isn't it? Do you see the traffic light? Do you see the sun rising? Do you see the street light and a flashlight? And look at the light coming right there at the table, and it's shining on her face. A lot is going on, a lot of sources here. So it tells us the sun is a source of light. That means that the sun makes its own light, but there are other sources of light. Some sources are natural, like fire. Other sources are man-made, like light bulbs. God made the sun and the stars as sources of light. He also gave people the ability and resources to make tools to give us light. Man-made sources of light include candles, lamps, and remember, flashlights. So I have a question for you. I want to ask you this question. What gives us light during the day? The sun. Good. What does the sun provide for the earth? Light, warmth. What do we call something that can make its own light? A source of light. Okay, what are two sources of light? The two kinds of sources of light are natural and man-made. And so let's think about natural light that God made. Fire, sun, stars. And think about sources of man-made light. Candles, lamps, flashlights. Okay, look at this picture for me. Do you see the sign? It says restaurant, and there's a question. What are some sources of light? Okay, if you said fire, sun, stars, candles, lamps, flashlights, you are right. Now in this picture, you see natural sources of light. Okay, that would be the setting sun. It would be fire in the lantern, in the candles. How about man-made light? There's a lot of man-made light in this picture. Do you see the camera producing a light? That would be man-made light, wouldn't it? And the restaurant lights, and a lamp upstairs, maybe TV is going, all of that is man-made light. Did you see a family having a birthday celebration? There's candles on the cake. That's man-made light. Okay. Have you ever been outside in the summer and seen little lights blinking off and on, all around you? What caused the lights? Did you say fireflies or lightning bugs? You are right. So, are fireflies a source of natural light or man-made light? So fireflies were made by God, so that would be natural light. And God made animals that make light. So we have learned about animals that live in the ocean that make their own light this year. Okay? Next, I'm going to turn our page. We get to talk about how light moves. So do you see the cat, the cars? Okay. Most objects do not make their own light. You see the objects because the light shines on them. Light travels in a straight line. When it hits an object, the light bounces off the object in another direction. The object reflects the light. So I've got a new word for you. The word is reflects. So that word means that light bounces off an object. That's what reflect means. Light bounces off an object. Okay, so your eyes see the light that reflects off the object. Shiny, smooth objects such as mirrors reflect light very well. See the cat again in the mirror?